Hey guys, and welcome back to Treasure Theory. Today, we're going to do a simple market watch, see what people have been currently buying as recent as yesterday to see what is going on with the market. What is the market telling us? I find these videos are super useful, and you guys have actually been asking me to do quite a few, so I figured we'd just kind of start ramping those up a bit. And real quick, guys, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that'd be super great. I apologize in advance. I've been wanting to post a lot more. Life's just been getting really crazy lately. I work 2 jobs, and I'm in school. It's a lot. It's hard to find time to, focus on the channel sometimes, but I'm trying to get back on my feet again. Also, I opened my EB03 boxes. I opened 2 of them. Guys, I think I've had the worst luck with box openings lately. I pulled 2 of the VV leader cards, and I pulled a couple alt arts, and that was really it. No gold dons, nothing like that, so definitely disappointing. But anyways, just thought I'd let you know. I didn't even want to post it because it's so bad. But starting off here, this sold yesterday, March 1st, Sunday at 1:23 p.m. People are dying for this Gear 5 Luffy card. This is, of course, the OP05. Not manga version, of course, but kind of still the Gear 5 Luffy card. Fun fact, this is the first card I ever pulled, the altar card, Japanese, when I first started getting into the One Piece TCG. But yeah, it sold for $520 USD. And for people wondering why this is expensive, I've heard a lot of people explain to me that because the manga cards are so expensive, this is the second best thing to it. So understandable, from a collector's point of view, I can understand that as well. And I just guess in general, the demand for the Gear 5 Luffy is pretty high. So next up, we've got the Boa Hancock. This also sold yesterday at 5 a.m. So somebody was up early. But yeah, sold for $1,500 USD, guys. Now, this is the original Boa SP of this sort, with the cool abstract background. If you ask me, I think this is better than the red one. But, it's a personal preference. I just like blue, personally. But yeah, the fact this card sold for $1,500 USD is insane. That's up there with the manga cards and all that sort of stuff. But we have seen SPs blowing up in price lately. So, hey, totally understandable. And it's Boa. Next up, I thought we'd throw in a Japanese manga card here. We've got the Manga Nami selling for $803 US or 680 euros. So I just thought I'd just kind of throw one in there, 1 or 2. I don't personally buy a lot of Japanese cards, but we've definitely been seeing an influx of Japanese cards being bought out. So I do personally think that there is a huge demand for this because they're currently cheaper to buy than the English, although we have been going through a little slump, but things are, I do think, going to pick up again soon. But as of right now, if you're just looking to get the cards, you don't care if they're English or Japanese, it's a fair play. All right, next up, we've got the Kaido SP. This is personally one of the coolest SPs I think exist. I've yet to get this one, but yeah, sold for $375 USD, which is about 500 and something Canadian. Pretty expensive, but these SPs are just gorgeous, man. And honestly, I do think having a full collection of all these SPs is definitely worth the chase. They're just gorgeous cards. You know what I'm talking about. They glisten in the light. They're great to look at. They look better than a lot of the One Piece cards in general, if you ask me. They're superior texturing and print and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, $375 for that. Moving on, we got the Soji King. Soji King PSA 10 sold for $1,300 USD. What's crazy to me about this card is I remember when I was first getting into the One Piece TCG a few years ago, this guy was like $300-$400 Canadian, which is absolutely insane now because he's like $1,000 raw. But yeah, one of the cheaper manga cards out there still. But yeah, $1,350 PSA 10. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty okay if you ask me. We've also got a PSA 10 of the Manga Rayleigh card that sold for $1,100 USD. Now, definitely one of the cheaper end manga cards that you can get. This was also my first manga card I ever bought. But, I think manga cards still play a vital role in the One Piece TCG. I think their rarity is still relevant. And until Bandai decides that none of that matters anymore, which I, hope doesn't happen. We are seeing a change with the demands of what people think is better with SPs and stuff like that, but I do think manga cards are still great holds. I do think they're the chase. So, $1,100 USD, which is like, 1,400 Canadian? Not too bad. We've also got the Jewelry Bonnie that was bought out for $1,300 USD. This is a semi-newer card. This came out in OP12. I do think the gold and silver Teach was definitely the main chase for OP12. But again, it's a manga card, so we got to take that in consideration. Some people really love Bonnie. She was also super relevant in the Egghead arc and all that stuff. But yeah, $1,300 USD right there. We also got the Leader Luffy card from the second anniversary set. This set was also, by the way, when I started realizing that things were getting scalped heavily. Like, I remember trying to order this, and it was completely bought out immediately. And yeah, that kind of sucked. And then all the leader cards were like blowing up in price. But hey, you know, they're great looking cards. If you've seen them in person, they're really nice, and they've got the whole crew there. You know, Luffy kind of looks terrifying in the straw hats. But yeah, $700 US, which is crazy. Crazy. This card sold here for $20,000. We're talking about the red Manga Luffy card from OP13, which is absolute insanity to me that these cards are being bought for these prices. But the rarity is there, guys. I would say these are probably some of the top cards in all of the One Piece TCG. This and the Oda signature Luffy card. But yeah, the rarity behind these cards are absolutely insane. And we can see here there's some similar ones being sold. Now, these are Japanese being sold for similar prices down here, but yeah, the demand is insane for these guys. I just wanted to show here that it was sold the 26th. It was kind of like not really showing up here, but yeah, it was sold a few days ago for $20,000, which is crazy. We got the Onami Championship Event Pack PSA 10, guys, sold for almost $600 USD. A little bit of a low pop count. You know, we got a PSA 10. We got 370 PSA 10s, 442 officially sent off, which is definitely on the lower end for One Piece cards. But really nice card nonetheless. You know, I really do enjoy the stamp. I love the hat and the flame. It was just such a good call on Bandai's end to make that. It's just a very unique way to stamp these cards. But yeah, that's pretty nice. Really nice looking card. We've also got the Doflamingo SP here, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of. I actually just ordered this recently in the mail. I haven't got it yet, but I'm a big fan of cards that kind of just show moments from the story. And, you know, it looks like Doflamingo is just eating a nice big shrimp. You can see Sugar there and, you know, and his crew. And it's just, you know, it's just fun. It's just a fun card. I love it. Sold for $330 USD. Not too bad. Just wanted to show a Japanese PSA 10 of the red manga card here. Sold for $10,500 US. So obviously cut in half from the English, but they're still incredibly expensive, guys. These are insanely huge cards. If you ever pull one of these cards, you know what? I recommend you sell it, because that's insane money, man. Next up, we've got the Wanted Kaido poster. Now, these were the OG posters from the TCG when they first came out. They came out in OP03. I'm not a huge fan of the poster itself. Like, you know me, I like the newer ones because they appeal to the actual Wanted poster. The colors and everything kind of messed this up for me. But, you know, they're still the first, and, you know, they still have value there. But, yeah, this one sold for $400 Canadian, which is a little less than 300 USD, which is not too bad. And, I mean, hey, it's not a terrible card. I do think they're worth getting. But, yeah, let's move on. Next, we have got the PSA 10 One Piece TCG promo for the BVB Match Day. That's that soccer card that you've probably seen around. Now, there's not too many sports cards in the One Piece TCG yet, but I do think these cards are really nice to have if you're a sports fan, especially if you like football or... Sorry, it's soccer in America, but football over in Europe. But I do want to show you guys this. I mean, the PSA 10 population is 7,000 out of 75,089. So a lot of people submitted this to get it graded. A lot of them turned out to be PSA 10s. But hey, $790 USD. Not too bad. We've also got another Luffy promo here. This is second anniversary promo, selling for $373 USD. Now, if you don't know, this is like the shiny foil one. I don't have this card personally, but from what I know, this one looks different from the other one. It's also got the second anniversary stamp there as well, but hey, you know, not a bad card. Really nice card, and I think there's like a figure for this as well. So that's pretty cool. We've also got a Luffy Regionals finalist card selling for $2,500 USD. Now, like I said before, guys, these championship cards, these treasure cup cards, they're selling big, okay? They're high in demand, they're low supply, they're really cool, they're trophy cards. You can only win them by winning tournaments and buying them off people. Look at how low the PSA 10 population is. It's 19. You know what I mean? Which is super interesting. And this really reveals a lot about these cards, too, if you take a look. I mean, there's only 21 have been submitted, which is crazy to me. But yeah, $2,500, guys. Next up, we have got the OP09 Wanted Luffy poster here, selling for $1,000 USD. This is the cream of the crop wanted poster cards in the One Piece TCG currently. Yeah, really expensive wanted poster card, but iconic. Not too bad. We've also got a PSA 10 of the Treasure Rare Law card selling for $325 USD. If you remember on this channel, we were one of the first people that were advocating for Treasure Rares to blow up because they were super significantly rare to get. It's like one per case, and, you know, they were cheap. So it's interesting to see how things have evolved. But, yeah, $325 USD. Crazy stuff. Next, we've got the SP Jewelry Bonnie. Now, I'm just shocked how expensive this card is. It is a pretty card. It is different looking too, I will say. But yeah, this card sold for $550 USD. I'm seeing this card raw selling for about 400 Canadian. So really expensive card. These SPs are just insane. I suppose waifu tax is thrown in over this, but I'm not going to go any further with that because if you know, you know. We've also got a Jack's Treasure Cup card here. It was the top 16 selling for $1,100 USD, which is honestly not too bad. You know, top 16, really expensive cards, guys. You know, top 64 is a really popular one, but the top 8 and top 16 are a lot rarer. As you can see, there's only 15 total PSAs in existence of this card. So definitely a very rare card. I know a lot of people don't necessarily care about Jack, but I still think this is a very good buy. We've also got the first anniversary winner Luffy card selling for $1,500 USD. What bothers me so much is I tried to buy this card for $300 6 months ago off some guy who was selling it. And he just, I don't know what happened. The trade just fell through. And this was back when this card was around that price. So this card blew up. Obviously, it's a PSA 10, but still a really cool card. Really unique stamp with the first anniversary stamp there. And it's just a great looking card. So yeah. Next up, we've got a Luffy leader card. Now, this was a super hard to come by card from EBO2. Now, EB sets typically have terrible pull rates, and this leader card was expensive off the get-go. $1,300 USD for a leader card. Not too bad at all. I do find it a bit strange when I see leader cards in PSA slabs. Not that they don't belong there, but like I'm just so used to viewing leader cards as just like for playing the game. But you know, we've got gold leader cards too and all this sort of stuff. And perhaps Bandai will start expanding on the leader cards more and changing rarities. So, but yeah, $1,300 for this card. Really expensive. Next, we've got the Chinese PSA 10 Nami card here. Now, these are serialized cards. Definitely expensive, to say the least. You know how it is, serialized cards. They're going to cost a pretty penny. $2,600 USD for this. This was number 327. I mean, it's a cool card, I gotta say. I do think the Chinese cards are interesting. They do kind of pop up in a few marketplaces I'm in every now and again, and they're always expensive. We've also got the third anniversary Treasure Cup pack. Now, this card here was really interesting because I feel like it was this not the first time Bandai kind of did this, where you know you could pull this really interesting. It looks like a serialized card, but it's not. But it has the stamp, you know, that holofoil, that holographic stamp, which a lot of these cards usually have. So it's just like interesting. And actually, if you look, the total population for P10s is 613 out of 958. So as you know, One Piece cards are usually pretty solid. A lot of times they're PSA 10s. So it's interesting to see how many of them weren't in this scenario. But yeah, still a really nice looking card. And it's crazy to see how expensive it's gotten. We've also got the Buggy Manga event card here, the Cross Guild card, selling for $650. One of the prettier manga event cards, if you ask me. Love the look, love the blue tinge to it. Really nice card. If you got this, you are solid. We've also got the Manga Law card from Royal Blood. Now, Royal Blood, not a big fan of that set, but there was some really nice cards in there. Probably one of the cheaper sealed boxes you can get right now, but this was the manga card that came in it. And I think this Law is okay. I mean, I was trying to get this Law, but, you know, it's obviously exploded in price. But you can see, you know, it's still semi-affordable. It's not even $1,100 USD for a PSA 10 slab, so not too bad there, and that sold February 19th. We've also got the OP06 Zoro here that sold for $4,000 USD. Not a surprise there. Very expensive card, very hard card to come by, but it is a manga card, so what do you expect? We've also got a non-serialized but Chinese exclusive Treasure Rare card here. Now, if you didn't know, Treasure Rares are kind of like they're location based. So there's like French ones, there's Chinese ones. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. They're all unique. So, you know, that's probably why this card is a lot more expensive. But yeah, $540 USD. Crazy. And getting into the last few cards, guys, we've got a Kid Regional Finalist card selling for $450 USD. Very low population count for this one as well. There's only 12 of 13 that are PSA 10s. Insane buy right there. And of course, we got the OP Manga Shanks card selling for almost $6,000 USD, which is nuts. But yeah, I understand. The value is there. It's one of the first, so makes sense. But anyways, guys, there you have it. That is the marketplace for the One Piece TCG. Let me know your thoughts. It's interesting. We're seeing a lot of championship cards being bought out, which I think are rightfully deserved. A couple of mangas here and there, but definitely some big money still moving around here, even if the market's on a little bit of a down low. But who knows? I do think we will eventually see a rise again. The live action's coming out very soon. You know, there's a lot to look forward to. The show is going to start airing again. So a lot of great things to come. But anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did like it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A video should pop up on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.